In the next 10 minutes, I am going to teach you how you can master both Sino and native Korean numbers and never get them confused. So be sure to pay attention so you can master it. Okay, let's start with one of the Korean number systems. And I want you to guess what it is based on these two clues that I'll give you. This number system has two primary uses. First, they're used when counting things in Korean. You use this number system when you're trying to count how many desserts you've eaten in the past 7 days, which, you know me, it's a lot. Or you use this when you're about to take a picture of somebody and you're counting to 3. Second, you use this number system when telling somebody your age. Do you know what number system we're talking about here? I am talking about native Korean numbers. Here are some other things to know about native Korean numbers very quickly. You use this number system when telling the time, but only telling the hours, not the minutes. You use the other number system to go over minutes, but we'll go over that later. Also, native Korean numbers only go until 99. There is no 100 in native Korean. Now, if you're a bit unfamiliar or want to review native Korean numbers, let's count 1 through 10. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. When it comes to memorizing these numbers, it can be pretty tricky. What I try to do is use physical movements and melodies to get it in my head better. Like, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. I know that sounds weird, but it actually works. The total body response. Yeah. I'm using FluentU to teach you guys these numbers today, and what's so cool is that they actually have a quiz with native Korean numbers. So let's test your skills with this quiz.
다섯. 우리 가족은? 여섯. 그 아이는 6살이다. 일곱. 7시에 만나자.
How'd you do on the quiz, you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, now that we've mastered numbers 1 through 10, let's go beyond 10, which is actually pretty easy. You just use the formula 10 plus x. So for example, with 11, we have 10 plus 1, right? We already know that 10 is 열 and 1 is 하나. Therefore, 11 is 열하나. 12 is 10 plus 2. So what would that be in Korean? Well, 10 is 열 and 2 is 둘, thus making it 열둘, 열둘. The numbers 11 through 19 are known as the 열 series because they all start with 10, which is 열. Now, if you want to count from 20 to 90, all you need to do is memorize the tens for that. So 20, 30, and so on. Here they are for you to review. So we have 스물, 서른, 마흔, 쉰, 예순, 일흔, 여든, 아흔. For building numbers in between, the method is still the same. So for example, with the 20 series, all you would do is 20 plus x. So how would you say 25 in native Korean numbers? It would be 스물다섯 because 20 is 스물 and 다섯 is 5. 20 plus 5. 스물다섯. Let's play around with a few more native Korean numbers before we move on. First, we have 83. To say this in native Korean numbers, we combine 80, 여든, with 3, 셋, to create 여든셋. What about 45? How would you guys do that? Well, the Korean number for 40 is 마흔, and 5 is 다섯. So when you combine it, it's 마흔다섯 to say 45. And 96 is 아흔여섯, 90 plus 6. Now, the only other number system that Korean has is Sino-Korean Numbers, which actually originated from Mandarin numbers, which I think is really cool. We use Sino numbers to talk about the minutes in Korean. We also use Sino-Korean numbers with a lot of different things, such as dates, addresses, phone numbers, money, and numbers beyond 100. Sino-Korean numbers have a lot of usages, I'll give you that. My tip would actually be to memorize when you use native Korean numbers, and just that because it's a lot less. And then anything else, you'll know it's just Sino-Korean numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my all-time favorite way to practice Sino-Korean numbers is to just try to say it as quickly as possible because they're all kind of short, minus the zeros because I just do those separately. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. So you can try to say as fast as possible and that will really help it get in your head. It's very important that you commit these numbers to memory, you guys. Like, really make sure you practice these numbers because they are building blocks on how to say other numbers in the Sino-Korean number system. So to review, let's do a quick quiz with FluentU. Pay attention and see how many you get right.
여기는 3번 출구이다. 5. 저는 5학년입니다. 목요일은 4일이다.
Up next, we have 11 through 19, which is known as the ship series because they always start with ship. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. As you may have already noticed, the equation for this is just 10 plus x, like with native Korean numbers. It can be really difficult to know when to use these number systems, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're first learning Korean and you aren't like actually in Korea to practice it. I know guys, I've been there, trust me. I have found though that FluentU is a really great place to review all of these numbers and like the context that they're used in. You see them used in real life situations, which is really helpful at just getting it in your head, especially if you're a visual learner like I am. There are flashcard sets with these numbers as well as quizzes and more ways to review these numbers. They also have a video dictionary, which let me explain real quick. So for example, if you want to hear the number hana used in multiple situations, all you need to do is type up hana, press on it, and you will find all these different examples of hana being used in Korean. And because you're watching this video, I have 2 weeks of FluentU absolutely free in the description below. So you can go do full-fledged quizzes since I only showed you a little bit of each quiz, and you can review everything, and it's really helpful and supplementary to this video, so go check it out. Now we're going to talk about 20 through 90 in Sino-Korean numbers. And as you can see, the equation is kind of reversed in this situation. We have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. This time when you're dealing with the tens from 20 to 90, the equation is reversed, so it is x plus 10. So, knowing this equation, how would you say 24 in Sino-Korean numbers? Yes, it is 24. For 36, what do we have? It is 36. And what about 58? 58 is the correct answer. Let's move onward and get to the hundreds because Sino-Korean numbers go past 100. So, we have a similar equation, and we have 100, 200, 400, 300, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. You'll notice that with the hundreds, you're literally just adding like 2 through 9 to 100, which is what is used for hundreds. So it's really simple. Like, since 3 is 3, 300 is just 300. So easy. Since 7 is 7, 700 is 700. For non-rounded numbers such as 367, you can just tack on 67 to 300. So it becomes 367. Kind of long, but when you think about it, it's pretty easy. It just takes practice. The final 2 Korean numbers that we will go over today is 천 and 만, which is 1,000 and 10,000. This will be really helpful for you to know when it comes to Korean money. Since Koreans count their money, their won, in thousands. 천원 is 1,000 won, which is similar to $1. And 만원 is 10,000 won, which is similar to $10 in the US. Based on what we've covered so far, I think you guys can figure out what 2,000 through 9,000 is in Korean. I know you can do it, you guys. If you remember the Sino-Korean numbers from 2 through 9, this actually should be pretty easy. This is why those numbers are so important to learn. Like I said, they become building blocks, I'm telling you. The correct answers are the following. We have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, and 9,000. And while we're at exercising our brains and reviewing a little bit, let's do one final overarching review. Which number system is used for when you give your phone number? It is Sino-Korean numbers. Good job. What number do you use when you're giving the date in Korean? Yes, it's Sino-Korean numbers again. What number system do you use when counting, such as counting down from something? Yes, it is native Korean numbers. And finally, what number system do you use to tell your age in Korean? Yes, it is native Korean numbers. Again, great job everybody. Let me know how you did on that last quiz. If you want to review everything that I went over in this video, be sure to download the PDF down in the description below. It has all of this information and some extra in it, so it's really helpful for review. Now, I have the perfect video for you guys to watch next. It is 10 ways to start a conversation with anybody in Korean. These sentences are crucial to talking to somebody in Korean, so I think you will really enjoy it, and I will see you guys over there.